everybody, as you know from my latest video, I decided to do a mid-year reading goals update, and I decided to redo my 2016 reading jar. At the beginning of the year, I had decided I really wanted to hit my series hard this year and try and finish as many series as I could. So I had picked out 12 and I put them in my TBR jar. And every month I wanted to pick out a series and be that series that I focus on that month. Well, to be honest, that lasted about 1 month, and I have completed 2 out of the 12. And the only reason I completed those 2 is not because I picked it out of the jar, just because I decided that those were the series I wanted to read, and that is Sega. And so I read Sega Volume 5 and the Throne of Glass series. I think that having my TBR jar made me feel like I was forced to read something that I really didn't want to read, and I wasn't enjoying picking something out of this jar and focusing on it. I'd rather be in the mood to read something than be forced to read something. So I have decided to completely redo my TBR jar. Instead of picking something to focus on that month, I've decided that this is going to be basically my checklist. So I'm going to pick 15 books because I have changed my reading goal this year from 50 to 30. So I've read 15 books, and so I decided to pick 15 books to complete my 30 and put them in this jar. Now every time I finish one of my books in my TBR jar, I will take that book out. So basically it's like crossing it off my list. I think this will work a lot better for me, and I'm actually really excited to do it this way. It'll just be fun to see how I am getting through with the books that I truly want to read this year. So I quickly wanted to run through all of the books that I have read so far in 2016 before I get to my TBR books for the remainder of the year. I reread Twilight by Stephenie Meyer. I reread Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone by J.K. Rowling. This is the illustrated edition. The illustrated edition was a new read for me, but the Harry Potter story was not. I read The Lost Hero and The Son of Neptune by Rick Riordan. This is book 1 and book 2 of the Heroes of Olympus series, which is a spin-off series from Percy Jackson and the Olympians. I read Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins. This Shattered World by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. This is the second book in the Starbound series. I listened to Fallen on audiobook. The Witness by Nora Roberts. Sega Volume 5. I reread A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. I reread Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Riggs. Crown of Midnight and Heir of Fire by Sarah J. Maas. This is book 2 and 3 of the Throne of Glass series. I've also read half of the Dream Thieves by Maggie Stiefvater, which is the second book in the Raven Cycle Quartet. And I've read half of Cress by Marissa Meyer, which is the third book in the Lunar Chronicles series. Alright, so those are the 15 books that I have read so far in 2016. 4 of those books were rereads, 13 of those books I completed the entire book, and 2 of them I only read half of the book. In total, that makes 5,992 pages. Okay, so on to my mid-year TBR books that I will be putting in my 2016 TBR jar. I'm going to finish the remaining half of the Dream Thieves by Maggie Stiefvater, along with Blue, Lily, Lily, Blue, and the Raven King. This will complete the Raven Cycle Quartet. I also want to finish half of Cress, which is book 3, and read Winter, which is book 4 of the Lunar Chronicles series by Marissa Meyer. Hollow City and Library of Souls, which is book 2 and 3 of Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children series by Ransom Riggs. Queen of Shadows and the Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas. This is book 4 of the Throne of Glass series, and the Assassin's Blade is the novella or the prequel to the series. A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. This is the second book in A Court of Thorns and Roses. Passenger by Alexandra Bracken. The Diviners and Lair of Dreams by Libba Bray. Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. And Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, the illustrated edition, which is scheduled to come out in October. Alright everyone, well that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. It was fun being able to see my progression and the total number of pages that I have read this year. Let me know in the comments section what books you have read so far this year and how you're doing on your TBR jar if you have one, and what books you really want to read for the remaining half of 2016. I will see you soon with another video. Bye!